We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of. We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of. Yeah, this is Everton Blender. And it's all about the young police from Jamaica, seeing Young Police Channel. Big up yourself, Everton Blender said that. We no afraid, we no see no one where we afraid of.
Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police Channel. To our loyal viewers and subscribers, at the channel we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because it saves lives. That is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives on this channel. We at this channel aid criminals, their financiers, their supporters, enablers, and the likes with a passion, and we do not want them over here. Yes, let us repeat ourselves. We do not want any criminal supporters over here. Please, we do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes, or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you, the criminal supporters, enablers, financiers, and all the likes, to go to prison or madness. Let me repeat myself. We at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we do not want the criminal supporters and their circle over here. We want you to go to prison or madden. Moving on to our video. Yeah.
LCD, you're looking at a man. Your man is a Jamaican and he goes by the name Javon Pinnock. And you know Javon Pinnock, he's wanted for the murder of Javon Jamison, aka Blingers. And you know Blingers was a Jamaican in the United States of America, law-abiding citizen who believed in the rule of law, and he wasn't doing anything illegal or inappropriate in America. And this man, because he feel like he can do anything and get away with it, killed this young man. So now that he's wanted, we want you, wherever you see him, please call 119, let the police know that he's wanted in New York, in Queens, for the murder of this young man. And so that they can extradite him, or if he put up any form of resistance, they can send him to departure alone. That would be justice. So we're appealing, we're begging you, please use your conscience, decency, ethics, and your humanity. Yes, we are a human family. We over at the Jamaica Young Police Channel say informer for live and gunman for dead. And we say that without no apologies. So moving on to today's. Yeah, so right now you're looking at your thumbnail. As we always tell you, you know, whenever we start in a video, always look at your LCD on your phone, your computer, your TV, or your desktop or laptop, anything where you watch it on. And right now you're looking at, yeah man, the man of the moment, Daddy Badness. Yeah man, the notorious Thickman himself. Yeah, so you know the Thickman killed many people, yeah man, and made their families cry. So now listen to Thickman's daughter cry for her murderer papa. Yeah, so you're going to hear that. So you know, when we have been telling people that we do not support killing and killers, and these are the things, because if you respect your life, you're gonna respect another person's life. But the thing is that now with Thickman now, Thickman was a criminal and he wasn't killed by any rival, and he was killed by the police. You're going to have various theory out there why them kill him, but you know, in their world, he just take a, you know, just one little thing, then another little thing, and then, cause Thickman left him gun, you know, the man that judge them gun, the man have big police friend, cause Thickman dead now, you know, when the police hurt because them don't know which part for them money I come from next week Friday, in a Spanish town. Even a police worker all a town used to that Spanish town. And them have to come check Thickman and go for which part him hang out, forget for them thing. In a mark police vehicle too. I man, a police are check done. Why? Hey, I don't know how that work for them, but that is their thing. So Moving on. For most of his life, Othniel Thickman Laban lived as a cold, calculated killer. He wasn't just taking lives, he was ripping family apart, causing untold pain, suffering and stress to the loved ones of his victims. This man didn't just pull triggers, he orchestrated chaos, leaving a trail of grief wherever he went. And now, in a twist of poetic irony, the same sorrow he freely dealt out has come knocking. Yeah. Knocking on his own family door. Hello? Open up, Mr. Death here. You can't miss a flight, Mr. Thickman Departure Lounge. Come on. And him answer, whether him want to or not. So picture this, his daughter hollering on top of her lungs, pleading with God to reverse the inevitable, begging for a miracle to bring her father back to life. The pain in her voice could break even hardest heart. But here's the kicker. How many times did her father send people down to the same departure lounge? How many times did other mothers, fathers, sisters, daughters, friends, neighbors, cousins, aunts, uncles cry like this over the bodies of their loved ones? Thickman sent to the departure lounge. The pain is real, no doubt about it. But now the scales have tipped and the universe has issued a receipt. Departure lounge takes IOUs. Now, let's be real. Thickman resume wasn't exactly angelic. This was a man who made a career out of ending lives and terrorizing communities. It's hard to ignore the irony of his loved ones now mourning him, when so many others mourn because of him. If we could sit down with his friends or family, what they would say to justify his actions. Oh, he was a good provider. He was a peaceful man. He was a community leader. Sure, if extortion money and blood-stained dollars count, he was a family man. Perhaps, but his family values didn't extend to the families he destroyed. Let's dive into the stats, shall we? The police have linked him to the May 27, 2024 murder of Arville Reed in Portmore, St. Catherine. That's recently. Before that, he was tied to the brutal killing of Anthony Tony Meg Harris in Ilroy, Spanish Town on July 26, 2023. And don't forget the murder of Andre Dixon, AC Rumblocks, and Ricardo Jaja Gardner. This wasn't a one-off or even a crime of passion. This man was like the Terminator, but without the charm or catchphrases. Well, unless you count run me money or else as a catchphrase. In a bizarre twist of fate, Thickman spent years dodging the justice system like it was a bad date he wasn't interested in. In 2016, he was arrested as part of a criminal organization. But the case fizzled out faster than a cheap soda. The difference with the one other gang and the Klansman gang is that the one other people, they stay together. In 2021, he walked away free after a key witness pulled a vanishing act, likely out of fear of becoming another statistic in Thickman's ledger of death. Now, we are not here to dance on anyone's grave. Well, not literally, I tell you, but some people, but let's be honest here, some people are upset because them say we have a laugh that is, it makes people hungry. But we can't help it, I just like, believe you me. So the same tears his family shedding today are the ones countless families have cried for years because of his actions. Imagine the nerve it would take to tell the mother of one of his victims, "Well, he was a good dad to me." What do you even say to that? Congratulations. He was less awful to you than to the rest of the world. So as the cries echo and the eulogies roll in, let's not forget the people Thickman left in his wake. The children who lost parents, the parents who lost children, and the communities that live in fear because of one man's reign of terror. Sure, his family deserved to mourn. Well, let's not rewrite history and turn a butcher into a saint. You understand? So those who you thought, "Oh boy, Thickman a good man to war." There's no good criminal. I tell you that. Thickman's story is a cautionary tale. You live by the sword for only so long before the sword catches up to you. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. And for those who feel the need to romanticize his legacy, let's just say this. When the departure lounge sheriff comes or call, Thickman didn't get a chance to go sit. Him couldn't hide from it. Yes, him couldn't hide from it. He have to just answer. So remember that Othniel Thickman Laban, a notorious figure linked to the one other gang, he was killed by the police in St. Andrew South Division after years of evading injustice. Laban's ability to escape accountability was primary due to the fear he instilled in witnesses, many of whom were impoverished residents unable to relocate from their community or flee the country. Yeah, so if you listen to yeah, that's a Thickman data. But we should let you hear it in its entirety. Yes, the same pain that they unleash the people, no, they experience it. Yeah, so, you know, the debt merchant, yeah man, the debt merchant, visit Thickman's family and how they feel how it feel. So all who boast about daddy badness and all of this may be the first that people are hearing. Loved ones of murderers, of a murderer, expressing themselves publicly. Because whether or not you want to believe, although these people are killers, they have people that love them. The same way that their victims, their family love them too. But they, the killers, they do believe that that person deserves to die and they deserve to live. Thickman's daughter did not know this day would come one day for her to experience what her father has made many, countless families experience, and he would boast and laugh over a Guinness and a big head split with his friends. Oh, when he was pumping bullets into the boy, and the boy looked upon him, and he just give it to him, and lick out the boy marrow, lick out all the boy head. But that's all put all two in the fussy mouth. Because the boy chat too much on this man. You know, some man a bad man. And me done, just walk off like nothing a go on. And you know, say some informer. I tell the police them say I'm me. But look how we're going to deal with them. Yes. That's how these guys operate. And then people in our community will tell us say it was the best thing, say sliced bread. But we beg to differ. We beg to differ. So most of his victims are poor people. So the first time during his criminal career that he was about to go uptown, he realized who the boss is. You don't hang up phone on certain people and you don't diss the police. You have to give your word. You're a criminal. You have to give them your bond. Your word's supposed to be your bond. The person who's responsible for the hire, you know them already. That person only on a survey, and then we take care of that person because that's how it is. You cannot just get up and assume things by putting it on people's lives because you feel like that's how criminals operate, not with facts, feelings and emotions. We're not into that. Loban leverages leadership of the one other gang to orchestrate its and rivals and collect extortion money, stating a source familiar with his operations. He had the ability to instill fear in communities which allow him to dominate territories and eliminate oppositions. His reign of terror left countless families grieving, and while his death might provide some relief, it's also underscored the destructive cycle of violence in these communities. As families of Loban victims once wept in anguish over their losses, it is now his family's turn to mourn. A trail of violence and death. Loban's name was associated with a string of murder that left bodies trails across St. Catherine and beyond. Police connected him to May 27, 2024. That's the killing of Harville Wheeler and Whelan Avenue in Portmore. And we'll tell you about the other shootings, Anthony Harris, that are Tony Meg, and we'll tell you about Rum Blacks and Jaja and others. There are countless other killings that he's responsible for. Loban's criminal career was marked by uncanny ability to avoid conviction. In 2016, he was among several men arrested and charged for being part of a criminal organization. And the man was able to beat the case because it's not emotion that convict people in court. It's evidence. It's not how you feel and you know something. That's how it is. You have to testify. However, system, unless we go back to the days where people use the guillotine and somebody, you understand. We just live in a different era. So whilst Loban was always out there, he always remained a person of interest and an active player in orchestrating violence and organizing crime. As we tell you all the time, say, the phone is a two-way radio. Anything where you said, the police them will hear. That's why you can't take out the battery out of the phone. Even if the phone dead, the phone still work. Because so Uncle Sam make them build the phone, it's called smartphone. So when a guy feel like he can change his phone number, unless you have to go change every number in your circle. And guess what? There's always one or two person in your circle who are informed on you. Because there's no honest criminals. Criminals jealous of each other. So we're going to let you listen to, to Thickman'S daughter crying. You watch, you listen, and you decide.
Oh God! Daddy! Why? Daddy, no, I country me there. Daddy, please. Daddy, no. Daddy, I miss you. All if we do with this, on the mash up with community, we done for boy.
Yeah, so I'm not even going to, that's just a little part of it we play. Because the reason we don't want, people to get caught up in them emotion and start to have any form of sympathy or empathy for her. Because her father has caused so much pain. The death of Othniel Thickman Loban underscored the complex dynamics of organized crime and its impact on Jamaica's communities. While his demise may bring a sense of closure to some of his victims' families, this also raises broader questions about the cycle of violence, the failure of justice and the justice system, and the long-term strategy needed to dismantle powerful criminal networks like the One Other Gang. For now, the communities love him. Yes. Then his rival may breed a collective sigh of relief. Like, you know, you have a favorite blogger where the people them contact with and say, boy, you have a clansman blogger online, me not even didn't know that. But the scars he left behind, a painful reminder of the toll exacted by an individual like him. For most of his life, Othniel Thickman Laban lived as a cold, calculated killer. He wasn't just taking lives, he was ripping families apart, causing untold pain, suffering, and stress. His life is a textbook example of how the so-called glamorous life of a Don and gangster is nothing more than a fast track to the departure lounge. Destruction. His story wasn't one of glory or honor, but of fear, manipulation, and ultimate failure. For years, Thickman walked around with an inflated ego, big like a balloon, basking in the misguided adoration of low IQ individuals in his community and other parts of Jamaica, who treated him like a deity, not because he was a hero or a role model, but because he was infamous, a killer and a wicked man who thrived on chaos and carnage. Let's get one thing straight. Thickman reign wasn't about strength or respect, it was about fear. Fear is a powerful currency in communities where survival often means aligning with whoever has the biggest gun and the darkest or the coldest heart. But as with all things, consider, built on shaky foundation, his empire came crashing down in a spectacular fashion, like the finale of a well-written Netflix series. And just like those binge-worthy dramas, his story ended with poetic justice. Except there is no next season. For Thickman. Adios, Thickman. Enjoy your final flight from the departure lounge to your eternal destination. Hell. No layovers, no return ticket, straight to the fiery depths. Straight. Thickman life was a grim reminder of how fragile powerful is when it's built on violence and intimidation. He fed on the misery of others, orchestrating its and rivals collecting extortion money and leaving behind a trail of broken families and shattered lives. His name struck fear into the hearts of many, not because he was invincible, but because he was ruthless enough to silence anyone who dared to challenge him. And yet, for all this so-called power, the end came swiftly, and it wasn't pretty. The very community that once hailed him as a demigod is now breathing a sigh of relief, some of them, while others, they are still mourning. The people who whisper his name in fear can finally exhale, knowing that the reign of terror is over. And let's not forget the irony here. Thickman, the boss, who thought he was untouchable. And my party in a power, me a labor right. Me can't do anything me want. Forget that the Labour government is not like the PMP government that protect criminals and give them government contract like Donovan Bulby Bennett. Let's make that clear. That's the difference between both. One is a criminal organization and the other is a political party. This government is trying to solve the problem in Jamaica, while the party that claim that they're waiting to become government is willing to create chaos, heartaches, pain, stress to the communities by empowering criminals, murderers, drug dealers, rear admirals. Thickman the boss is gone. In the cycle of violence he helped perpetuate, no, he's gone. The same gun culture that made him a king is the same one that brought him to his knees. The departure lounge, as they say, never misses. What's most tragic about Thickman'S life isn't just the lives he destroys, but the potential he wasted. Imagine if all that energy, charisma and leadership had been used for good. Imagine if instead of rallying young men into a life of crime, he had inspired them to build, grow and uplift their community. But alas, Thickman chose a path of destruction, and destruction is all he left behind. And he's been put on a pedestal. He must have done. He must GM with General Daddy Badness. Now let's talk about his final departure. Because you know that he's in the departure lounge. When the police finally caught up with him, it was poop, lights out. No dramatic monologue, no heroic last stands. Just another day in the life of a man who lived by the sword and predictably die by it. You live by the gun, you die by the gun. His supporters mourn, but even they can't ignore the reality. Thickman's death was inevitable. You can't sow seeds of death and expect to reap that the same harvest. So remember, you can't sow seeds of death and not to expect the same seed of death. Whatever a man sow it, so shall he reap. So as the curtains close on this chapter, let Thickman's life serve as a cautionary tale. But who is listening? And most of these guys in the One Order and Klansman gang, Thickman a fool, that's why police kill him. No, you are smart, that's why you're listening. But in a matter of time, you won't be able here to listen to what we're saying. Being a Don isn't power. Being a gangster isn't respect. It's a one-way ticket, either a prison cell or the departure lounge. Then you go straight to your grave. Thickman chose his path, and now he's gone to meet his final judgment. Not the one he controls in his community, but the one he can't bribe, threaten or intimidate. God, the Almighty, the creator of all living human beings, the one who created heaven and the earth and the universe. So here's the lesson for the next generation. Crime doesn't pay. Fear doesn't last. And no matter how high you think you have climbed, the fall is always waiting. Thickman, your Netflix, Rory, life has ended. And the only streaming service you will have to access now is the Eternal Flames. Bon voyage. Have yourself a beautiful day. Yeah, Jamaica Young Police Channel out.